Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Kyle Claus. I'm an actor. I've been in shows such as FBI, Homeland, The Blacklist, Happy, The Last OG, as well as many other feature films and independents. I wanted to make this video to go back to basics. I wanted to take you from a 15-year almost career right now, which I'm still working on, and kind of go back to the beginning. I just had actually a friend of mine that is 40 years old, and he wants to get into acting, and this is what I got him to start doing. So number one, you have to have headshots. That is more than learning how to act or any of that stuff. You need headshots. That is the number one. With that comes a lot of different questions. Who do I get them from? What looks do I go after? The thing with headshots you want to know is a couple things. One, you want to make them look like you. You don't want to make them glamour shots. You don't want to make them look like you going to the Oscars. They need to be real. They need to be authentic for what your type is. Now, I may want to play a certain type, but I know my certain type is what casting sees me as. So my suggestion would be go to a couple people that you trust that are in the business and ask them, what parts do you think I would get cast in right now as it is? You might want to work up to Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, and that's a great thing to work towards. But like, if somebody sees you as, oh, I could see you as like the cop. I've got cops as my entry level thing right off the bat. Don't worry about being labeled as something like that right off the bat. So my suggestion would be, if somebody says to you, oh, you look like a young dad, I could see you getting cop roles, getting all that. Take that and be like, okay, I'm gonna run with that. If somebody says to you, like I said to my friend, you're gonna be blue collar, he's scruffy, has a beard, he has his hair disheveled, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get right off the bat, blue collar, rough around the edges, those kind of drug dealer, undercover cop things. So you wanna lean into that. Secondly, under headshots, you don't wanna go spend thousands of dollars on your headshots. You can get a nice photographer that you like what they're doing, and that's important. You like the person's work, not what somebody just tells you. When you get something like your type, dress like your type. If somebody says, oh, I can see you as a young dad, cop, blue collar, you don't want to put on a suit and jacket to go to your headshots. Something like this, black shirt says cop, says Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise type character. It's not somebody against my type. The other thing is, for headshots, ask a person also if there's any tips. If you like somebody's headshots that you know of another actor, you know of an acting coach, you know of somebody or a casting director, say, do you know any tips for taking your pictures? So I'll give you a quick example. Some people are like deer in headlights when the camera's on. They stop breathing. They're like stone cold, but they're not like that in real life. In real life, you're breathing, you're relaxed, you're smiling a little bit. So my two suggestions would be breathe, and secondly, look through the camera lens like you're trying to look into somebody's eyes through the other side of the lens. It's gonna give you concentration, and you're not gonna have that blank look in your face, and breathing is just gonna make you alive organically and relax and look like a real person instead of somebody holding their breath. So that's it for headshots. Second thing I would do is the reel. So if you don't have a reel, it's gonna be really hard to get anything else but one or two liners or something like that. I would recommend just getting into an acting class or act at some point, even if you're just reading something with your friends. You want to start working on something, whether it's like student films, independent films. Get an Actors Access account. Actors Access and Backstage. They're very minimal costs. You can submit yourself for your own projects. You don't need a reel. And if you've done student plays or student films, you can put them on your resume. And then any acting classes you might have taken in school or outside of school, you put those on your resume, and any special skills. That's what your resume should look like. And somebody will be able to give you a one-liner audition just if you have the right look. Know your place is what I would also say. I know everybody wants to be the lead, but be the one-liner guy, two-liner guy working on professional films to prove yourself and to have that level of work on your reel. And last, what I would suggest is just have fun. There were so many times where I stressed out about the business. You should be in this business for a 20-year career, not a 1-year result. These things take time to build up. It was almost 10 years since I've had my first line on Billions. And then almost a couple years after that, till I got my second couple lines on Homeland. And then a couple years after that, where I got my bigger part where you could see my face and I wasn't just some cop busting in a door, where you could clearly see it's me. And I'm acting opposite Tracy Morgan and opposite Zico Zaki on FBI, and these like higher level people that are the series regulars. It takes some time. And then it's always up leveling. You got to prove yourself at every different level. So that's exactly what I would do if I was starting over again. Get that stuff started as soon as possible. Take a breath. Play the 10-year career instead of the 1-year results, and start going at it every day. The final thing I'll leave you off with, you need some kind of person that's on the inside track that sees breakdowns for legit projects to submit you. You can find somebody for that. So ask some referrals and get somebody on board that's going to represent you. That's what I did for my friend. I got him in with my acting manager, and now he's being submitted for the 1-line, 2-line roles at this point. But guys, I hope that helps. Thank you so much. Again, all I ask is just like this button, subscribe if you have not done so already. I'm going to keep going with acting career and entertainment career tips. I've recently got into producing and creating my own work as well. I got some good insight on that. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and talk to you soon. Bye.